The series opens a few decades ago with a terrifying ritual or prank by high school boys. It is performed by a group of footballers wearing scary masks in an abandoned place. The scene changes to the present where Maya has lost her husband, Joe, in a robbery. She is in immense grief because she also lost her sister a few months ago in a terrific incident. Those horrific wounds are still ripping and now the husband is gone. Joe's mother suggests her to go for counseling, but she disagrees. Hence, her friend consoles and gifts her a digital photo frame with a mini webcam in it. Considering her busy schedule in combat forces, she is worried about her daughter Lily. She places the photo frame in her daughter's playroom where she spends most of the time with her nanny. Maya doesn't want to suspect the nanny as she has been working for the Burkett family for ages, but her friend insists and puts the frame in the playroom. She joins the job in a few days, but her friends suggest a hangout over the weekend. Maya appreciates their concerns, but she is doing fine. She finds an astounding thing in the webcam recording a few days later. She watches Joe cuddling with his daughter in her house. She also finds his green shirt and shoes missing in the cupboard. She inquires Lily and Nanny about Joe, but they refuse to see him ever. The nanny attacks her with pepper spray and takes the SD card with her. She disappears with the card. Joe's mother hires a detective to investigate the death. He inquires about Maya about the robber's night and is amused to hear the name of the gun used. Maya knows the gun because she was allotted the same type of gun when she was in the army. She still has the gun, but it is deactivated. He confiscated the gun and sent it for review. She also informs him about the nanny's cam footage and the nanny's lie. But he considers her delusional after the grief. Unfortunately, his car crashes due to a sudden cat jumping in front of the bonnet. He is suspected of having a drinking history. Therefore, he has got an annoying assistant to help with the case. They reach the crime spot to investigate but find nothing. Although the results have come and the murders of Maya's sister, Claire, and her husband are from the same gun. On the other hand, Maya is searching for the nanny to get the SD card. She also visits Claire's children and husband, who doesn't like her very much. Hence, he gets the information about the nanny and approaches her before she disappears again. But she gets the chance to flee. The investigators suspect Joe's and Claire's affair as they were working in the same place. But Maya believes in their loyalties. The children are curious about their mom's stuff, so they keep on digging the items. They find an old camera and decide to get the images in it. Maya reaches out to her friend to ask about Claire's daily routine because they were close. She informs about a secret phone or an affair. She breaks into the house and finds the phone. Claire's husband tries to snatch the phone and asks her to leave the investigation to the hired investigator. Although he knows about her wife's secret dealings, Maya takes the phone away with a throb on his face. The investigator talks about the nanny's interview as she is a member of the family, but she considers Maya psychotic and refuses the allegations of Joe having an affair. She considers him too good for Maya as he has always admired her, but she has never valued his love. Maya finds the contact number of a gaming club in her sister's hidden phone and 16 call records. However, she doesn't find anything suspicious in the club. However, she notices a car following her all the way, even at Lily's nursery. She discusses it with a colleague who informs her to be vigilant about the two gangsters who are out now. The investigator is getting sick day by day but ignores his symptoms. He compels his wife to drive because he is dizzy. Maya reaches Joe's will reading ceremony, but it gets postponed because they don't have an official death certificate for Joe. However, the visit proves astonishing for Maya because Joe's sister reveals her secret visions about Joe's dead brother. She also believes that Joe is still alive because no one saw his dead body except his mother. Maya is already confused about the vision of Joe in the digital frame's secret camera, and now his sister is spitting facts about their family secrets. She reveals that their family has a secret bank account for the Burkett Empire. A huge amount has been sent to the detective and others on the 10th of every month. The revelation may lead to somewhere interesting. Also, Claire's children are excited to get their mother's old pictures, but they are shocked to see her pregnant in 2003. Also, they find their mother with an anonymous guy. Maya decides to talk to Joe's mother about his dead body, but Joe's third brother shuts her up. He is asked to leave and get help. Claire's children find some more details from the pictures. They recognize a boy named Frank who is currently Bimble's CEO. He is a French who used to write French notes to their mother. He also recently noticed French notes with yellow flowers on his mother's grave, which are probably from Frank. They decide to keep it secret from their father and the police. Maya notices that the calls were all made before the opening hours of the gaming club. It means Claire was hanging out with someone who was there before the opening time. So she moved to the club and found the same red car that had been following her for days. She places the sensor near its tire. She compels one of his colleagues to keep an eye on the tracker, and suddenly it disappears. Maya is on the helicopter at that time and follows the red car with the help of its last location. She is bumped into the same gangster who was informed about being back. Hence, she is taken to a room and the gangster reveals that her sister was in contact with him. He used to love him and helped Claire with the secret details of Burkett's empire. Claire was killed because she was working against Burkett and then Joe because they were working on the same project. Darkman is a mysterious character whom Maya wants to meet but can't find. Joe's family is also sending him a lot of money, but Maya can't meet the Darkman. However, she notices a car from the sailing crew at his house. Claire's kids reach out to meet Frank, but he advises them to meet him at his flat later in the evening. Maya is not going to stop until she finds out about the true stories. So, she requests his colleague to look out for the Darkman. Instead of suffering from some major neurological disorders, the detective indulges in Joe's case. They find the details of one of the bikers. Maya's niece finds Frank's apartment and asks her brother to wait outside. Joe's sister finds Joe's green shirt from the camera's video hanging in his mother's room. The nightmares from Maya's past are still haunting her nights. Lily is not in her bed but crying in the hall. Maya approaches and finds her colleague there. He blames Maya's carelessness for the incident, but more importantly, he is here to reveal the Darkman. He reveals that the Darkman was the captain of the same ship from which Joe's brother committed suicide. The Burkett family portrays it as a murder as well and never allows anyone to see his dead body. She's getting more twisted and wants to know the dead end. But his colleague suggests getting help and ignoring things. However, Claire's daughter finds Frank, who claims to have a relationship with her mother 20 years ago. He didn't know about Claire's being pregnant in 2003. The detective reaches the biker, who is actually Claire's daughter's football coach. He exclaims that the bike was stolen 1 month ago and that he didn't report it because it was cheaper. Hence, the twists are outnumbered in the story, which builds up suspense for the audience. However, the only thing that is clear is that the detective is actually sick as he crashes, not because of the cat but because of his neurological condition. Maya calls up for psychological sessions, but it is interrupted by a random call from the Darkman's wife. She reveals that her husband was taking a huge bribe from Burkett's empire every month, but the cause is still unknown. The detective has been rescued by his assistant. Maya meets the gangster and talks about her secret audio tape. The tape is still unreleased to the army authorities. The tape somehow hides the truths about Maya's past, but the gangster believes that the firing from the army and losing her dream job was enough punishment. Therefore, he doesn't release the tape. Also, he reveals that Claire made a deal with him about the tape. Maya is in grief to know that her sister lost her life in saving her truth. Hence, they need to find the Darkman who has disappeared for a few months. Claire's children find out about their stepbrother's DNA report and inform Maya about it. However, Maya already knows it. Someone mysteriously put the tracker on Maya's car. Maya's friend informs her that the nanny cameras can be hacked because her divorced husband is blackmailing her. She suspects that Joe's footage was uploaded to the camera by someone else. But after thorough rechecking, it has been revealed that no camera was hacked. The detective keeps his illness a secret from his pregnant wife and argues with his assistant about it. But they flee toward the more important task, which is Claire's husband's lie. They know that he was somewhere else on the night of Joe's murder. The truth has been revealed, but he is still suspicious. Claire's daughter finally meets her stepbrother but advises him to stay away from his younger brother. Maya comes to visit Joe's mother with her daughter and finds out about Joe's school. She pays a visit and asks the headmaster about Claire's last visit here. She threatens him until he spills the truth about Joe's friend from the school named Theo. Claire was dead after she paid a visit to the school and got to know about Theo. She is shocked to see that he was dead 25 years ago. She meets Theo's mom, who confirms Joe, his brother, and Theo's friendship several years ago. Claire's husband meets her former lover, Frank, and informs him about his son. Maya meets the gangster and gets to know that Burkett's empire is taking thousands of lives every year with its defective medicines. They keep their mouths shut by bribing them with money. Claire knew about this. Therefore, he was murdered. Hence, they get to know some clues about the Darkman. She finds his dead body in a closed shutter, deeply frozen. The detective reaches in and suspects Maya for the murder. The argument leads to the discussion about his bribes from the Burkett empire, but he clearly refuses to have any involvement. Maya tells him about the cause of Claire's murder, but he wants to know the whole truth. Maya keeps a secret and reaches Claire's husband, requesting him to pick up Lily. They end up discussing Claire's hidden son and lover. The detective joins a rehab to lower the grief and refuses to marry his pregnant girlfriend because of the illness. Claire's family is welcoming their third brother into the home. The detective finds out that Maya is lying, so they drive in to find the truth. Maya reveals that the gangster hides the Darkman's dead body in her car and then places it in the freezer to keep himself away from the case. She tells them about the gangster's place after his cheap trick to involve Maya in the murder. Hence, Maya is out on another finding mission of Swain, Joe's friend from school. All computers in the detective's office have been hacked. Maya finds Mr. Swain, who made a big revelation that Joe killed his brother Andrew. He makes some terrific revelations about Joe and reads Joe as one of the most brutal students in the history of the school. He reveals that Joe kills Theo because he is charming and doing good in football. Joe can't handle his charm and tie him up in an abandoned place with a chair. The same incident from the start of the movie. He killed him with alcohol, and then in the same year, he killed his own brother by throwing him into the water. Maya sobs in pain to hear her husband's evil truths. The detective finds the gangster in a dark dungeon and finally gets him confiscated. Maya meets his colleague because he suspects her of the deaths of Joe and Claire, but she calms him down and meets him for a revelation. She reveals the day when we both were up in the helicopter during the army days. She lied about the command to kill the civilians. She is in immense pain for killing them, but she needed to do the fire. She really wants to undo the act but can't. The gangster was blackmailing Claire for the same audio from the helicopter and the commanding team. The detective investigates the gangster and he reveals Burkett scams in pharmaceuticals. He also realizes that he has been taking medicines from the same company. These hallucinations are due to the medicines. He has been hallucinating his friend since the start due to the foul medications formulas. The dark man was involved in the crime. Therefore, the gangster kills him. Maya finds the tracker of Nanny's car moving and follows it. The detective gets to know about the biker and rushes to know about the cause of death. But the biker jumps off the building before saying anything. Hence, he has been fired from the job because he is severely sick now. Maya hijacks Nanny and her partner with Joe's clothes. She threatens them to speak the truth with the gun. They reveal that Joe's mother hired them. They defaked the video and played the act on Mrs. Burkett's orders because she wanted to know the whole truth. She suspects Maya and claims to know that Maya is keeping secrets about Joe's death. Therefore, she wanted Maya to get involved in this game to clarify that Joe is dead. She used to believe that Maya was dangerous for his son, Joe. Claire's husband sends Maya's colleague here for her safety because he worries about her. The colleague wants the whole truth now. Hence, Maya believed that Joe was hiding something, and so was he. He was the murderer of Theo and his brother, but he acted innocent. She wanted him to reveal his true self, and now the colleague put up the question of both murders with the same gun. The biggest twist here is Maya's statement that she was the one who killed Joe. Joe murdered Claire because she got to know his truths and all about Burkett's scams. So Maya played the act to testify that Joe was the murderer. She has a gun case which was only approachable for Joe and her. She testified about Claire's death bullet, and it is revealed that Joe did that. To avenge and get rid of the criminal, she lures her husband to the park and kills her with the same gun. Then she replaced the gun with a similar deactivated one and let the detective take the fake gun for the test. The bullets matched because both guns were similar. Then she paid 2 bikers to act on the robbery on the same night. She played the whole act to blind the detective and the whole investigation. The detective gets to know that Maya killed Joe because the biker spills the truth after a few thumps. He is following Joe's car, thinking that Maya is in there. He also informs his assistant about the new revelation and gets to the car. But unfortunately, it is Claire's husband in the car because they exchanged cars with each other earlier. She wanted him to pick up her daughter and took his car to track the nanny. Maya welcomes Joe's evil mother, his third brother, and his sister into a dark room. She makes them claim their lies and Joe's truth. She compels her mother to speak the truth about the pharmaceutical scams and Joe's murders and even confesses her crime as well. She takes out the gun's trigger and sets it on the table. Then she plays the act and tells Mrs. Burkett to confess her crimes as well. Mrs. Burkett is trapped, but she asks Maya to make an agreement. She proposes to place all this to Joe's fault and live a clean life for both parties. But Joe's third brother gets the chance to pull the trigger of the gun and shoot her dead. She plays the last trick by putting a webcam in the digital frame. The video is out into the whole world. They are live on news channels. It has become the biggest truth of the century. The detective tries to remember how Maya sacrifices herself to bring Burkett's sugar-coated horrific truths to the outer world. 18 years later, Lily gives birth to a baby girl and calls her Maya.